I'm not surprised. It was always clear that Article 2 of the protocol had supremacy over UK law, and that's what the judge has ruled. And therefore, being a colony of the EU, ruled by EU laws, the asylum laws of the EU apply in Northern Ireland, don't apply anywhere else in the UK, and therefore that makes a nonsense of the government's bill, and that's why it has been struck down. But the critical thing about this is it's another illustration of the sham of safeguarding the union document, the document the DUP signed up to. Now today the DUP say we always warned about this. That makes it even worse. They knew, according to them today, that they were signing up to something which couldn't deliver what they claimed, and which was delivering this partitioning immigration border in the Irish Sea. More shame on them for ever signing up to the Irish Sea border document safeguarding the union.
Can you sum this up in layman's terms? For those, everybody maybe is aware of the Rwanda bill and what's been going on, but it perhaps for many people has felt a bit removed, or Northern Ireland has felt a bit removed from that. What, in your view, does this actually do today? What does this change? What impact could it have in Northern Ireland?
Immigration policy is meant to be the same across the entire United Kingdom. Because of the protocol, Northern Ireland was put under EU laws on immigration in terms of asylum seekers, and therefore it is EU law which provides extra protections which trumps British law, and the British law in the Rwanda bill, etc., which would enable the government to have removed people from the United Kingdom, will apply in GB, but has been struck down in Northern Ireland because of the supremacy of EU law. And that, of course, is a huge constitutional assault on our position, because it now means that as well as a trade border in the Irish Sea, we've now got an immigration border in the Irish Sea, and Northern Ireland will become a magnet for asylum seekers. That's going to be the practical outworking of this.
You honestly believe that's what this does?
Well, why?
Northern Ireland the place to come?
Well, why wouldn't it? If you were an asylum seeker in GB and you were faced with the threat of being removed to Rwanda and you didn't have protections against that, but in Northern Ireland you had protections against that, then of course Northern Ireland's where they will head to. These are people who have been prepared to head from the far side of Europe to the UK. Coming over to Northern Ireland will be nothing to them, and that's where they'll come because they will have the legal protections that they don't have in GB.
Is that such a bad thing, though, because we need people working in our health
We don't need illegal immigrants. We do not need those who are coming illegally into the United Kingdom. We are entitled and should be entitled to the same border protections as the rest of the United Kingdom. And the fact that we aren't is because the British government surrendered sovereignty over this issue through the protocol to the EU. And now we're living to pay the price for that. And the price of the DUP having signed up to a safeguarding the union document that made false promise on this and which cannot deliver this.
In response to your question, said the government needed to urgently address this matter. The Prime Minister has said this afternoon that what's happened in the High Court today won't change his policy, won't sway them, and they will appeal it.
Well, they will appeal it, and they should. But if at the end of the day their appeals do not succeed, then we're left with a divided United Kingdom, Northern Ireland under EU law, flexible, relaxed, liberal asylum rules, GB under UK law, where it is much more difficult to obtain asylum. So that will be a division in the United Kingdom. We will be the soft touch for asylum seekers. GB will be those who can continue to preserve their borders. It's another illustration of the fact that we're being detached, not just in trade, but now in asylum and immigration from the United Kingdom. And that's why constitutionally it's abhorrent. And that is why the DUP, who signed up to the document that was supposed to protect us against that, should now be disavowing that document, because this is a false promise made within it which cannot be delivered.